Hey everybody, welcome back. Good to have you here. So today's video is actually in response to a poll that I had a little while ago over here on YouTube and on Instagram, where I asked people to submit a character that they'd like to see featured on a drawing video. Well, today is that drawing video, and what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be drawing Darth Maul, which was suggested by Operative Y over on Instagram, and I'm going to be drawing him in 100 minutes, meaning that I'm going to have a full illustration from sketch to ink to color, all within 100 minutes. So let's go ahead and start that process right now, and we'll jump over to the art desk right back here. Alrighty, kicking things off with the basic sketch here. I already had a pose in mind for this, so it was just basically putting that on the page. So I'm doing that by mapping out some simple shapes and then adding in some musculature to fill it out and make it look more organic. Also making sure that I placed where the lightsaber was going to be. Funny enough, some of the reference that I used to get this pose was some bow staff poses, and obviously this is a very MAUL-esque pose. We've seen him do this pose a couple different times, but it was something that I actually really liked and thought was something that I could reasonably get done within the time limit. So it might have been a bit of a stretch, but you know what, at the end of the day I'd rather go for something a little bit more ambitious than play it safe. So mapping out that pose, and now you can see I'm starting to detail in the face using some of my photo reference. I actually decided suit-wise to go with the Season 7 Clone Wars look, as it's currently airing on Disney Plus right now, and I've been really enjoying that, so I figured it'd be fun to give that suit a crack, which actually ended up being a challenge in and of itself as well, because there's not a lot of reference for that suit right now, or at least a lot of clear references for it that I could find easily on Google Images, so I gathered what I could and kind of filled in the rest with my imagination. But I'm going to go ahead and wrap up this sketch here, and then we can go ahead and start inking this. Alrighty, and grabbing those micron pens now and starting to fill in some of those details with ink. So just going in with the smaller areas, I believe at this point I was using a 0.5 micron, so it's a little bit heavier, but where this is a quick challenge and I needed to get some heavy inks in there really fast, I kind of feathered it in for areas that I didn't need it to be as heavy, and then I was able to use it heavier in the areas that I wanted it to stand out. So for the challenge being all about time and making sure that I'm being as efficient as possible, I figured this was the easiest way to get a variety of line weight with one pen. I do later go in with the 1.0 heavy liner to outline. You can see I'm doing that right now actually. And again, that's just to sort of build up the silhouette, but all of the small inner details were done with that 0.5 micron. So really impressed with the way that that turned out. Now you can see I'm throwing in the base tone color with some alcohol markers here. I believe I used a neutral gray 3, 5, and 8 to do most of this. And then I used my Spectrum Noir colors to do the red, but we'll get in that in 1 second. So you can see I'm layering up some highlights and shadows on the suit here with those alcohol markers. And again, I can't speak enough to how much I love these markers. You just can really build up just some beautiful layering and saturation with these that is relatively hard to get in the same time frame as you would with any other art material. So these were a huge help for this challenge. As far as coloring goes, I could not have done it without the markers. It would have been a more difficult process, and I wouldn't have been as happy with the end result. So these seriously saved my butt big time. But I'm going to go ahead and finish coloring this up, and then I'll come back to you in just a few. Alrighty, starting off on the background now, so filling in that border using a ruler and a Sharpie, and then filling in all of that with some different Sharpies. This proved to be a bit difficult, seeing as all of my Sharpies were evidently dead. I didn't realize this until I started, but once I was in it, and I had to finish it. So the result of the background ended up being scratchier than I would have liked, but given the time limit and the materials being what they were, I didn't really have time to fish for other materials. So it is what it is, and I tried to fix it as much as I could by going over multiple times and multiple passes, but at the end of the day there was only so much I could do. But filling in the rest of that now. The next step after this, I left a little bit of a border around the lightsaber, as you can see. This was so that I could kind of go in with some hatching and the gray alcohol markers to kind of give an illumination effect. It didn't work quite as well as I would have liked. If I had a little bit more time, I could have gotten a more clean effect, but for what it was, it ended up working out just fine. So I'm going to go ahead and wrap all of this up, and we will call it a day. And I think as far as the first time doing this challenge, I think it went pretty well. So yeah, let's wrap it up here. Alrighty, so I hope y'all enjoyed that. I certainly had a lot of fun with that. It was my first time doing a challenge like that, so trying to balance the time of like sketching and detailing and coloring, all of that was kind of fun. So if you'd like to see more of that, let me know. I'd definitely be down to try that again. Hopefully, maybe get some better results next time, though I'm really happy with the way that this one turned out. I might have a better idea of the timing that I have, and I might have a better idea on how to utilize it better. So we'll see about that if I do decide to do another one. In the meantime, we've got some really cool stuff going on here pretty quick. Next week, I'm going to be dropping the May update video. And on that video, I'm actually going to have the templates from the scorpion mask that I did not too long ago. I've had a couple people asking me for that, so that'll be in that video description. So outside of that, just detailing some stuff coming up next month that's super exciting. It's going to be a big month, a lot of projects, a lot of spillover from this month. But like I said, I'll get into all of that later on in the next video. But as for this video, if you enjoyed that and you want to see more of it, please let me know. Do all of the liking, commenting, subscribing, all the YouTube stuff that y'all know about. I know you do, so click the buttons and do the things. And until next time, guys, stay creative.